The time is near and it is almost here. We at least have 3 to 2 days until this game finally releases. And it's been a journey for a lot of us, for Shift Up, for people that has, had conversations about it, people who love to see this progress in this game, and people who probably hate to see the progress within this game. But that is for Stellar Blade. This is the journey part 2 behind the scenes. If you want to go check out my previous video before of behind the scenes, pretty much be a link in there, so whatever, you could just go search for it on my channel. But yeah, before we get into this, because I know it's like almost close to 10 minutes long, it's just amazing to see how this game came all together when Shift Up first finally got the inspiration, at least from the game Nier Automata, to create such a game as this, to have that type of inspiration. And then from Shift Up, from what I've at least learned and know from now, is that they were popular of making mobile games. So then they shift into making AAA games, because I believe down there in Korea, they only really focused on the mobile game aspect. Then they want to try something new, because mobile games are very popular down there. So they want to shift to something new and create such a world, such characters. We all just played the demo, and this is the product that we're going to be getting this Friday. I am one of many people that has bought Stellar Blade. I bought the digital deluxe edition, and I cannot wait till Friday. So hopefully Shift Up will have a very nice release. I'll talk a little bit more later about it, but let's get into the behind the scenes, because this is like close to 10 minutes long. So let's go.
For mature.
I've been making games for about 30 years. And making this kind of game has always been a dream for me. Stellar Blade has been influenced by various countries, but in particular by Korea. Korea has developed extensively over the years, with structures that had gone through cycles of construction and decay. Seeing those buildings crumble felt post-apocalyptic to me. I wanted to capture this unique charm in Stellar Blade.
Even in the darkest times, it's always safe to bet on human survival instinct.
In the game, you will encounter a city called Zion, a place frozen in time.
Zion is the last city of humanity on Earth.
Aesthetically, Zion really stands out, but I felt sympathy for the NPCs living there. They live in a very challenging and unfortunate environment.
Is everyone hiding because of us?
We have a situation here.
There are many different environments in Stellar Blade: a city environment, great deserts, and wastelands.
And even space. I actually wanted to reinterpret some of the conventional imagery associated with post-apocalyptic worlds.
Sorry, I just wanted to pause here for a second. This part was in the demo in the beginning. And I don't know if I said this in my last video, but if you probably didn't even watch it, I was kind of speculating that this portion right here is probably not the start of the game. If it is, cool, it's whatever. But hypothetically, if this were to happen as soon as we boot up the game, I was thinking that this is probably not the initial beginning of it, or at least I would like for this not the beginning of it, because if this were to happen, something I was thinking that in the beginning, you probably get to learn who Eve is, who the 7th Airborne is, and they're probably in like training sections, and I don't know, they probably have been roaming around planets just trying to protect different planets, or mainly if it's Earth or whatever. And I don't know, you probably get to maybe going a training session. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's just the demo. I don't think, I wasn't thinking where this would be the start of the game just yet. You'll probably learn who Eve is and get to know Tacky a little bit. Maybe they'll have a conversation here and there before. And I don't know. Like I just said, maybe they'll go through a training session, or you know how certain games like to start. Like this is probably not the initial start of it, but and then they go into the scene, you know, where Earth is being attacked and the Natives are starting to attack their ships and whatnot. And something probably could have happened on one of their ships beforehand. You know, they landed on Earth. But that was just something I was speculating. If you get what I'm saying, if I didn't explain it enough, I apologize. But that's what I was just speculating the whole entire time while I was playing the demo and thinking, well, when we get into this game, it's probably not going to start where it initially started from the demo, but from a different aspect. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue.
Other than expanding horizontally, I thought about ways to expand vertically.
Orbit Elevator is the level I'm the most proud of.
My favorite area of the
Yeah,
game
so
is the
slightly like right here somewhere. Probably like it could have been an invasion on the ship, and that's where it started from. That's initially all I wanted to say.
My
The invasion of
favorite area of the
Natives
game
before
is the
they landed on
Matrix.
Earth.
I love maze-like environments, so that area is by far my favorite.
Personally, my favorite stage is the subway section.
I like that mask.
It's a map where you delve deep into the underground. From the collapsed subway station to other precarious sections, traces of survivors, and ultimately a fateful encounter. At the beginning of the game, players navigate a somewhat linear map. However, the moment you encounter survivors on the surface, the world expands significantly.
This is the largest land I've ever seen in my life.
And yet danger lurks around every corner.
And you can find yourself in a world where you can go anywhere.
Describing Stellar Blade sound in one word would be clang.
Parrying is a crucial element of our combat system.
Our goal was to make a fast, colorful, and stylish combat. We were inspired by games such as God of War, Sekiro, Dark Souls, DMC, and Bayonetta.
Okay.
What was the blocking button?
It's a nice
We made a
lineup of
huge effort
games.
to make weapon hits more impactful and make combat sequences more dynamic.
In the game, the accurate trajectory of the weapon and the position of the opponent are crucial. We did our best to precisely align these elements to convey the feeling of the sword penetrating the opponent accurately. These are cases where, depending on the situation, I might cut through or sever an enemy's body using a sword. I believe this is a crucial element, not just for the sake of gore, but also to give the feeling that the player is effectively utilizing a sword and give the feeling that you are really fighting.
And one good thing, if a lot of you have been paying attention to, is that all versions of the game, no matter which country that you are pretty much getting it in, there is no censorship. All of it is going to be uncensored. I am so glad that everybody else get to experience the same gameplay, the same experience as everyone else across the board. And thank you, Shift Up, for this. That's all I want to say. I know I've been stopping it here and there, and y'all don't want to hear me talk, but
The functions of the DualSense were incredibly helpful for that. You'll be able to feel it right on your fingertips. Add this to the sound, motion, enemy reactions, and effects. All of these elements combine
this
in
music
perfect
is going
harmony.
to jump off, dog. The music in this game.
I can't wait for players to encounter the boss battles.
Yes.
All the excitement, all the awe, it all combines into our boss battles. There are at least 3 boss monsters per map. Stellar Blade's bosses have a variety of appearances and a variety of attack styles.
3 boss monsters
You need to
per
figure
map?
out a monster's pattern and fight accordingly.
My most memorable monster is the one we made first. His name is Gigas. He's a gorilla-shaped monster. At first, he had only a few skills, but we added many more while developing the combat system.
Y'all would do that.
The reason why I like Starker the most is because he's the first monster that made me feel that I'm doing a good job with the scripting. Out of all of them, he's the best.
It's just not enough attacks.
Fantastic finish.
There is a monster called Abaddon that players will meet early on in the game.
Everyone in the studio had a competition to see who could defeat this boss first.
Okay, let's do this.
Adam, get back!
I believe I struggled with the Stalker a little bit more than Abaddon. Abaddon was a bit difficult when I first tried playing the demo, but you start to realize his attack patterns, and especially if certain games, if you're used to parrying certain moves, if you're like good at that right off the bat, it wouldn't take you that long, especially with Stalker 2, it wouldn't take you that long to learn their patterns, learn their moves, learn to parry on time. And yeah, with all of that, added into it, certainly, because even there's still a difficulty and there's still a challenge within these bosses, right? But I'm just saying, initially when I first tried the demo, I had to try and defeat the Stalker a couple of times, but with the Abaddon, it was pretty much easier. So maybe as you go in the game, depending on whatever setting is, it's on, it'll be, get more difficult a little bit here and there, and whatnot. Especially when they were just saying the Gigas, they only had probably maybe one or two attacks or a couple attacks, and then they started to add more. That's just like with Souls games too. You'll fight a specific boss that probably do the same rotation of moves that they're like AI is supposed to generate those moves, and then all of a sudden you'll die probably a couple of times if you first started battling that specific boss fight, and then out of nowhere, just randomly, they just start doing a new move that you did not anticipate. That's like the most craziest things when it comes to boss fights. But yeah, let me continue.
From that moment, all of us understood how to design the combat system of Stellar Blade.
Things will only get harder.
And the gore, it doesn't seem like it's too much. That's what I love about this.
Stellar Blade is the outcome of my creative dictatorship. However, that dictatorship is quite feeble. So, everyone pretends to listen to what I say whilst creating what they want.
To be honest, it wasn't a smooth ride. Can I do it again?
The most important thing was the communication between each other.
For instance, when we have meetings, we discuss details such as the length of the limbs, because when they are longer here, a void is created here, and when the sword cuts through the empty space, it leads to lack of impact. We discuss that kind of detail.
Our meeting with Sony was truly fateful. Shuhei Yoshida happened to be in South Korea. We contacted Sony, informed them that we were making a game, and he came to play it in person. From there on, our relationship with Sony began.
When I found out that Stellar Blade was PlayStation 5 exclusive, I was very proud.
My first PlayStation was a PS2 when I was in middle school. I never dreamt that I would ever get to develop the games I played of as a child.
I grew up too poor to afford a gaming console, and only when I became a college student could I finally purchase PS1. I enjoyed playing games like Ridge Racer and Final Fantasy, and this ignited a strong desire in me to create games like this. In Korea, there are not many opportunities to create console games, so there is a strong desire to make good games for global users. When Stellar Blade is released, I hope it becomes an example that South Korean game developers can develop a console game.
I think Kim Young-tae will leave a historic mark on South Korean game developing history.
Oh, the history is already in place.
Stellar Blade was made for you. If you are a player who enjoys single-player console games, you will know how much the developers love the culture and how much they put their love and hearts into it. I hope you have a great time with its charming characters, captivating worlds, and formidable foes. Just grab your controller and enjoy.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. All right, excellent. Everything about this episode was very beautiful, especially at the end when they was talking about they want people to enjoy the single player experience, that this, you know, for them to be a developer known for just making mobile games and transferring into or moving into the single player game AAA aspect of gaming, part of the industry. It's nice to know that they want to give out a good product, and we'll hope that everyone else will enjoy it, because the journey within this game, the controversy behind it, everything, all the elements that has brought this together until the next 3 days until this final game release has been for something. This is particularly a stand. This is the stand. I'm probably going to sound corny when I say this in these, you know, next few couple of seconds or so, but this is the stand that needed to be made for gamers, developers like such as Shift Up, to take a stand and say that, okay, cool, this is how we're going to develop a game, and this is how we're going to have fans to enjoy it. This can really make a video game to what it needs to be in order for it to sell right, for people to enjoy it, for you know, places like Sony to invest in it, all because of a character, because of her looks, right? Depending on if she's attractive or not, I'm quite sure the most selling point about this game was the gameplay, but we all know that it really stirred up because of how the character looked. That's the initial point of this, that you can create a game that people will love with its characters that people can enjoy, not bland characters, interesting characters at that, and that a female can actually be attractive and she could be a part of this large world that you can be immersed of, or linear large world that you can be immersed of, and that you can be excited and you can support that a developer actually wants to give out a good product that you want to spend your money for. Like, for instance, like I just said, I bought the digital deluxe edition because I believe that this is going to change gaming in an aspect, maybe not forever or something crazy, but throughout this whole entire process of how Shift Up came about this game and everything that they pretty much had to face, and everyone that has had to face off of YouTube, from all the creators that I've seen that made videos about this game, and so many people that have had interview on the streets talk about there's no such thing as an attractive female, her proportions of her body doesn't look right, and these males, they're incels, and all this other yippity yap and doodah to try to make, you know, most male, you know, gaming fans to try to just like disrespect them and make them feel low because they actually want an attractive female in a main lead and role to play in a video game. I'm going a little bit off the edge. It's like these dudes probably don't have attractive girlfriends themselves. And also, there have been women that have been tired of the unattractiveness of female characters, the laziness when it comes to gaming and so forth. It's not just males. It's not incels or whatever this crap that they're trying to make up. It's just people who are fans of gaming that are tired of the BS and they just want good products. I mean, think of games that had a male protagonist and it wasn't good because of the gameplay or the looks or whatever, and so forth and so forth. But it's really have been hit more on the females more than ever. And it's really trying to make male fans or male gamers feel bad about their interests and their likes, which is just stupid and ridiculous to even think about or talk about to the slightest. But I'm gonna wrap this up because I just want to say, Shift Up, congratulations on not backing down to the machine or to anything. I know that, you know, Sony can pretty much make the calls at the end of the day, and they could have just wanted to give a crap game, but they saw something in this game that other games did not have, and you guys didn't back down, unlike Square Enix, who backed down in like the last seconds before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release. But Shift Up was like, nah, we're going to give you this game. We're going to give you everything that you want and more, and you're going to enjoy it. And even though they probably have a sequel lined up, just know that we're here to entertain you. We're here to give you what you want. We are here so that you can spend money on us, that you can trust us, that we can make a product that can sell out and more, and that slightly change the course of history of gaming, and that how it should move forward here and on. Maybe that sounds corny, I don't know, but I think it sounds good to me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction for the Journey Part 2 of Stellar Blade. I'm gonna end it here, and if you guys, you know, hit the comment section if you enjoyed my reaction. If not, it's cool. You know, just like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more content in the future. And I'm out. I will talk to you guys later, and maybe I'll see you guys Friday if I upload some gameplay on my channel. Hopefully you will be there. If not, maybe you'll check out some other great and amazing content creators that will have this game and they will play it and upload their footage online. Support everyone, support them all. We all deserve this W. May sound corny, but I don't care. It's really much needed. I'm out. Peace.